Hello there YouTube, I am Wheelchair21, and on today's Rolling Review, we will be looking at S.H.Figuarts Ultraman Zoffy. Or you can just plainly call him Zoffy, since most of the time they just drop the Ultraman from his name, and he is the captain of the Space Garrison. Now, he first debuted in the original Ultraman series, and as such, well, we didn't get to see much of his fighting credentials, but over the years we've been able to see how incredible he is. Our interior shows that Zoffy comes with his M87 ray, 5 additional hands, 2 pairs at least, one to actually hold the Beta Capsule, the red color timer, and the deadhead. Now, I call it the deadhead just because it's marketed as the, well, light-out version of the original Ultraman's helmet, Hayata's helmet, because that was when he was beaten by Zetton and had died. Now, other times the eyes do get grayed out to signify if they've been blinded or if their eyes have been injured, but most people just want to refer to it as deadhead. So, we're going to get out our figure and check out all the points of articulation and compare it next to, well, Figuarts Ultraman. Once removing Zoffy from the package, one can immediately tell that he has the same points of articulation as the original S.H.F. Ultraman, and one could almost expect that they were actual retools of one another. However, when bringing the original Ultraman next to Zoffy and putting them on a side-by-side comparison, one can actually see they are not the same figure whatsoever. Zoffy has slightly longer arms, slimmer body overall, whether it be from his hips or his pectoral area, and actually has a longer face, which is actually a really interesting thing. Now, when I compared them, they are about the same in height when it comes to shoulder to shoulder. However, I do feel like when you straighten them out a bit more and get them to be more, straight up standing, Zoffy is just ever slightly taller than Hayata, and Hayata only uses his bulk as trying to make himself look the taller of the two. And as you can see, he does have more red to signify his difference between them, other than just the slimmer build and longer heads. Now, the marks on his shoulders and his pectoral area are his star marks and ultra brusters, which signify his chain of command as captain of the Space Garrison, and his medals of honor for service in, just duty. So, pretty much, you would think that they are the same, but they actually aren't. Honestly, for a long time, I thought the original suits were actually just the same size, same mold, and I'm guessing they're not, but it could also be due to if they scanned the modern day suits, which there is the obvious difference between the two when it comes to their overall mass. But I'm not too sure. Maybe the originals actually did have that difference too. Well, we do know, though, that one time Zoffy was just a repaint of Jack after they actually damaged or reused or had to destroy the original Zoffy suit. So maybe after that, he had a slight alteration, which has been the more prominently used design. Now, when it comes to his accessory count, which is pretty slim, we have the deadhead for regular Hayata, which, to compare it side by side, one can see, yes, it is the same head. The only difference is, like I said, darker eyes. Lighter eyes mean it's living. Darker eyes means he's technically dead. Or he could be blinded, because there are those cases where, goddammit, stand. There are those very rare cases where Ultramen can get blinded, and to signify it, their eyes go dark as if they're dead. He also comes with the Beta Capsule because Zoffy and, well, the original Ultraman Hayata used this to transform. Now, Zoffy actually rarely transforms. He's only had, technically, one human host, and the other 2 hosts that he used were just him in human form, or posing as a human, similar to Seven. He only had one actual host, which was in Mabius, and we barely didn't really figure that out, that they were kind of attached at one time. And then he has his M87 ray, which is his signature move. He's also used this move as a sword, And he also has a variant which is more akin to the basic L-shaped Ultraman rays. And that's pretty much all he comes with. It's evaluation time, and for my final evaluation, S.H.Figuarts Zoffy is a wonderful Ultraman-related figure art, because it actually isn't just a simple retool of the original Ultraman figure art. It is actually its own mold. It has a lot of variations and changes to it, which prove that even though it has the same points of articulation, parts are molded and casted differently than the other figure, meaning it is its own toy, its own character, and still worth an incredible purchase. Now, Zoffy is not a titular Ultraman, but he's been prominently used throughout the franchise, and honestly, no one should really skip out on several of the Ultra Brothers, due to the fact that if they're from the Showa era, they're always seen either working in tandem or always helping out the new generation. Now, Zoffy is the captain, meaning he's probably going to be the most prevalent Ultra outside of the brothers themselves to show up. And when I mean the brothers, I mean the ones that are the titular Showa series, like the original Ultraman, Seven, Ace, Taro, Jack, those guys. But Zoffy's still great in his own right. He has his own blast effect. He tries to use a move that is not signature to the L-shaped attack. He comes with the Beta Capsule for either he or the original Ultraman to use, as well as the Deadhead for Hayata, because you can actually recreate the final episode when you have Zoffy, Ultraman, and Zetton. Now, I would recommend this purchase being made when you still can, or whenever reissues are made possible for the public. So you can still find them in places, I bet, like CS Toys, AmiAmi, and Hobby Link Japan. And honestly, I do recommend it. They are quite affordable. These are better figures than the Ultra X, and they're quite sturdier. Anyways, if you've enjoyed my review of Zoffy, you can always check it out here on my YouTube channel, where I insist that you should subscribe, like, comment, and share the videos, as well as check them out on Hero Club, Hero Taku, and you can like my page on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and on Instagram, and check me out next time with more Figuarts reviews, candy toy reviews, Doyle's DVDs, so on and so forth. I'll see y'all next time.